Well, good afternoon to you. I'm Dr. Yolanda Powell, and you are tuned in with me for Propel to PowerSpeak, our Kingdom Telesummit, and we are thrilled to have you on today as we are really talking about the seven mountains, talking about kingdom influence, and all of the pieces that God is doing with His children in the earth today. I mean, some exciting things that's going on, and one of those people that He is really moving through and really bringing to pass some really exciting I guess it would be opportunities, not just for herself, but for you as well, is our own, I call her Miss Gwen Adams. And so thank you so much, Miss Gwen, for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And Miss Gwen is really moving and shaking in the whole weight loss industry. She is an expert. She has lived what she talks about. She has carried the weight. She understands what that's about, and she is really helping others through her transformation circles. She's also working with distributing through Nature's Sunshine and working with Dr. Barbara Samru right here in the Maryland area through the Healing Corner. So we're just excited to have you. We know that God is doing something great with you, Miss Gwen. But tell us how this all got started. Tell us a little of your start. What did God say? How did He bring you out and kind of maneuver you to this moment?
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm excited about this opportunity, Dr. Powell. God has allowed me to maintain a weight loss of 400 pounds. I work with people who are obese or who have weight loss concerns. I help them to look at food and weight differently. And it definitely has not always been this way. Most of my life I was obese. 12 years ago I was morbidly obese. And at 400 pounds, I was in really bad shape. I couldn't even bend down and tie my own shoes. I was taking medication for high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, and God just turned that thing around and gave me discipline over the things that I eat and how I eat, how I even view food. And so he has such a humor that he even allowed me to become a caterer.
Wow.
And so I began to cater at first, just catering the kind of foods that people love and the soul foods and so forth. And then I thought about it, and I said, I can't do that because this is where God has brought me out of. And then I began to cater for people who had diabetes, people who who wanted to heal from cancer. And so my cooking began to change, and what I even do in the kitchen now changed. And so I'm getting the opportunity to bless people by the things that I prepare for them, so I don't even cook the same way. Food is altogether different to me today, so that's what God has done for me, and I'm just excited about it.
Well, that is exciting, and it is just exciting to hear that just the transformation that you've personally gone through. I mean, to move weight off, at that level and that depth is not easy, as you well know, and yet God has called you to create transformation for people. Tell us a little bit about transformation circles and how you've been able to do what you've done personally and then transfer that over to groups of people and how you're impacting lives that way.
After maintaining the weight loss for, I guess at the time it was about 10 years, I knew that I was supposed to do something different with it. I knew that it was truly a gift, and that God had truly blessed me to give me a second chance because I'm physically in a shape today that I wasn't in at 45 years old, and I'm going on 70. So now I can jump up and down, and I can run and do some things that I couldn't do at that particular time. So when I see people now who are obese, it was like a call on my heart. It was like I have a compassion, I have a passion to help them to make that change because I know what it's like to be in that place. So Transformation Circles basically is it started off being a 13-week program where I actually met weekly with groups or individuals, and I weigh them in. Every week I do a different kind of presentation to them, give them different information about the way that they're eating, and to look at how they're eating, assess them, and then try to turn that thing around, look to see what their cravings are. And if you're craving certain things, it's because the body needs something. And so you don't give it chocolate because it needs chocolate. You don't give it chew a lot of ice because you just sit up and chew ice. You need some iron. So I began to tell them what that meant, what it translated to, and then talked about exactly how to prepare some meals that make a difference. Had them to, in many cases, people even began to see what it was that was causing them to eat, and that was key for me, because at one time I thought it was what I was eating, but it was really what was eating me. So I had to make some changes, and thank God for Propel, because it allowed me to pull some things up. But I don't want to just, I tell you, I can start talking about Propel and just go on forever.
Well, I do want you to know, share a little bit with our audience about how Propel has helped you to really formulate your voice, to really be clear about your ideas. I mean, you've already been doing the work, but how did Propel help you to kind of target and just zero and laser in on how to say what you needed to say?
Okay. Well, one of the things, when doing the work, I was doing the work personally, but when I came into Propel, Transformation Circles was a thought. It wasn't up and running.
I got you.
And so Propel actually gave me the confidence to actually step up and the boldness to go out and talk to people about my business. It gave me the confidence and to go ahead and tell my story in front of people and not break down and cry. I got past it because I was able to share in Propel with community and some things that I wasn't able to just tell everybody, because it wasn't even received the same way outside of Propel that it was received when I talked about things in Propel. We in Propel, our community is able to just be for real with one another, go into deep places that we probably that you shouldn't sometimes go in certain environments. And so it's a safe place, and it was a place that I could go and not only share those pains that I've had in my life, and not be looked down at, not be judged, not be talked down to, or not even be used because people feel that they could do that even. So I really got an opportunity to build my confidence, to be able to go out boldly, stand before people and tell my story. And my God, I was just so surprised at how my story affected other people's lives. Yes. And as a result of that, it opened doors for me. And sometimes I have to pinch myself, because I was like, boy, I should have gone to Propel 25 years ago.
You said, wow. Said, if I had done this 25 years ago, I'd be good
Where
to go.
Where would I be?
Oh, my goodness. Well, that is exciting. One of the things that we are going to be doing is, as you know, we'll be rolling out Propel, our training systems, and our PowerSpeak kind of academy, if you will, next Saturday at PowerSpeak Live. We're really excited about that. And then to have you on stage with so many of your colleagues and mastermind partners really telling your story and all of those pieces. And one of the things that we're featuring you on, Miss Gwen, is the mountain. We call them the 7 mountains. We're featuring you on the business mountain because, like you said, here was this idea, and yet it did not have, a birthing. It did not have, life yet. And so we're able to do that. So I wanted you to kind of speak about how learning about the 7 mountains even has kind of helped you to put some pieces together and to see how you can be effective, in people's lives through your business and then through the ministry, the work that you do.
Okay. Well, I'm proud to be on the business mountain, and when I came into Propel, like I said, the thought of Transformation Circles was, if you want to even call it the embryo, at that point. But in Propel, as you were teaching from the very beginning, at Propel 1, I can recall just talking about the fact that each one of our stories, that we all had a story, and the value that we had, because when I first heard you at the conference and you at the summit, and you talked about value, voice, and volume, and we kept saying it over and over again, and it resonated in me because I had a value problem.
Right.
Because I had an identity crisis, and I had those kind of things going on, and I tell you, after I came into Propel, and really is where I truly where if I know that God, we get our freedom from God, and when God sets us free, we are truly free indeed. And I know that my freedom took place in Propel.
Oh, good.
It took place in Propel, and the freedom that took place in Propel, it actually gave me the courage, the confidence, the boldness to go out and make this thing happen. I put some feet on it, and I went out into the community, and I started sharing what I had accomplished, what I had done, told my story, and I learned the signature pitch and Propel, and I was able to go out and use that signature pitch, and people listened. And not only did they listen, I got contracts.
Yes.
And the first contract I got, we were on a call, and I was sharing with you all like somebody gonna give me a contract and I'm gonna get some money.
Sure did.
And you said, well, we don't know who it is, but and the contract went so well. I walked into a room. They actually selected this particular nonprofit. They selected 15 women for me to see just what it is that you do. You know, how can you work with them? And we'll select them, and you begin your 13-week program. Dr. Powell, when I walked into the room on the first day, there were women sitting in that room that looked like I used to look.
Oh, my goodness. My goodness.
And so I was truly, I said, this is an assignment from God. It couldn't be nothing else, you know.
God.
But it's the business. It's the business. But the business allowed me to go and to influence these women and to change their life. And the part that I love so much is that when the women say to me, I just want to be free. I said, oh, my God, that's what I said when I went to Propel. And I'm free now.
And those were your words. I mean, literally, those, I want to be free.
Yeah.
And now you're hearing that from those that you're working with. That is God. That is really God. Now, I know that there are many that are listening to us now to this call and interview, and they're probably on the fence. They're like, I hear you, but I'm a little shaky. I'm a little afraid. You know, it's not comfortable to always change and to be stretched and challenged. What would you say to someone who is on that proverbial fence, saying, I want to coach, I want to learn training, I want somebody to help me get this out of me, and whether it's a business or a ministry, what would you say to them to say you really need to do something different, whether it's come to Propel or whether it's attend PowerSpeak Live next Saturday here in the College Park? Marriott will be right there from 9 to 5, so that's something for them to do. But what would you say to them to get them off that fence?
I would tell them not to wait. I would tell them that life is too short.
Wow.
And in my lifetime, I have wasted a lot of time. And sometimes, we're on the fence because some cases we look at the dollar. But I can tell you that for $99, if that's the package that you choose, that it is worth 1,000.
Yeah.
It is worth more than 1,000. To be set free, to be able to change from being someone who sits in a room and don't open their mouth, someone who is muted, to be able to change to a place where you're able to open your mouth and stand before people and talk with a boldness that has to be a boldness that's blessed by God. That is not priceless. There's no price for it. There's no price for it. So the 3 sessions that we've gone through, I don't regret a dollar that I've spent. It's worth more if you doubled the price.
Wow. That is so inspiring. That is so inspiring because people do let small things like a dollar keep them from their destiny,
Yes.
And from that place of liberation, really, and freedom that you just talked about. Now, I know, Ms. Gwen, that folks are listening to you thinking, oh, I need to get with her, that there is something that you have. Do you have any exciting plans going on later in the summer, something in the fall that people can really plug in with you and what you're doing through transformation circles or whatever you're doing? How can they connect with you?
I do have a couple of things that I'm looking forward to doing. I've never had a real big launch, so I'd like to be able to do something like that around September, October. And I've been moving forward because you motivate people to move. If you don't hear and come, they're missing out. They are truly missing out. And so I'm hoping that they really do. But I'm working on a children's book that I'm working with a publisher to have done, and I'm hoping to be able to get that out at least by the school year so I can take it into the school system.
Wonderful.
Because it's talking to children, but it's teaching them the importance of how to eat and what to eat and the different food categories. And so I think it's, and it talks about relationship as well. So I think that that's going to be an awesome piece. I'm looking forward to that. So excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do want to do a launch because I want people to know the kinds of workshops that Dr. Barbara and I do at the Healing Corner, because I think that's important. And we do several different types of workshops. I'd like to do a tea. It's so much in me, you know.
It is. And you know, I saw it when I first laid eyes on you. I was like, wow.
I'm glad you did.
I said, this woman is packing. My God, you know. So it's sad if people cannot see. You know, Jesus said you have to have your eyes open, your ears. Well, let's see, your ears open, your eyes open, and your heart to perceive. You have to be able to perceive who is this person. So that's who you are. You're really I want to say this out loud and clear for our audience, you are this weight loss expert. And to be an expert, not because you trained in a book or you're read it on Google or read it online, but because you lived it. That's what God was after, wasn't he? He wanted a living testimony, a living being to connect to people. So I just want you to know how proud I am and excited I am about your tremendous progress and just all the products and all the services and just all the joy that you bring to this new time in your life, this new season, even heading towards 70. It sounds like you're 30. It sounds like you're in your prime, not, somebody says, 70 is old. But no, not Gwen Adams.
No, it's a new 70.
It's a new 70. Well, tell everyone how they can contact you, if you have a website or a Facebook presence, so that they can make some decisions really today to say, yeah, I need to talk to her.
Okay, I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn as Gwen Adams.
Okay.
On both of those. I do have a web page, which is coachgwen.mynsp.com.
Okay.
And I have a web page that is being built, and that's transformationcircles.life.
All right, transformationcircles.life. Well, wonderful. Well, once again, is there any final kind of expert advice you want to give to the audience about weight and about life or just about, change or transformation? Anything before we close?
Well, first of all, I want to tell everybody who can to come out and join us on July 30th because it's going to be an awesome time. I'm so excited, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it. And I know how God can change our lives and how he can take us from a place of darkness and bring us into light. I know how important it is to be physically fit, but I know that that we have to be intentional about taking care of our bodies and taking care of our health. And so I do hope to have an opportunity to share with all those who are listening, and hopefully they'll come out on the 30th. And I thank you for everything that you do. You are so awesome to us. We thank God for you, Dr. Powell.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have it. It's just always humbled to hear that we are helping entrepreneurs, we're helping kingdom leaders, marketplace ministers, global gatekeepers, and key influencers to really get their message out in a big way to the world. So I want to thank Ms. Gwen. I want to thank you for chiming in. Once again, I'm Dr. Yolanda Powell, and you've been on with us today for Propel to PowerSpeak. Be blessed and have a great day.